there YouTube, welcome back to Kupo Gamer. I'm Marco, and today, let's talk about what's going on with Kingdom Hearts 3. Welcome back fam to another episode of Kupo. So there has been a lot going on with Kingdom Hearts 3, and we really need to talk about it. We actually tried to talk about this like 3 times already at this point, but between all of the interviews being translated multiple different times and the amount of information that's been coming out, we've had to reshoot this same video multiple times. After multiple reshoots though, it seems that all the information has settled and we can really pick out the facts from the fiction. So with all of that being said, let's dive into all of these crazy juicy topics. So first out the gate, we really gotta talk about what's going on for Kingdom Hearts 3 in the realm of DLC. Both the Kingdom Hearts 3 Ultimania as well as Dengeki have been providing a lot of really crucial information in regards to the DLC. This information has been translated by a handful of awesome Twitter users, and we really can't thank all of you enough, especially a tiny robot, for getting their hands dirty and translating all of these really juicy things. From what Nomura and Square are touting, it looks like in the realm of DLC, we're going to be getting the Critical Mode as a free DLC patch, as well as some paid DLC with some pretty substantial story content. As far as other free DLC, that's yet to be determined, but from what Nomura is insinuating, there's going to be some other patches and small buffs to the game that are going to come in the form of free DLC. In the realm of paid DLC though, that's looking like a whole different topic. So before we talk about this paid DLC, here's, cautionary spoiler alert, because it's got some spoilers. According to Nomura, this DLC is going to have some really important Xion information, more on how she got resurrected and brought onto Team Xehanort, as well as some other crucial story stuff that was not resolved in Kingdom Hearts 3. Aside from just having some really awesome story expansions, apparently we're going to be getting more super battles in a similar vein to the data battles that we got in KH3 Final Mix Plus. Also, according to Nomura, some of this DLC is going to be taking place around the Keyblade Graveyard, whether that's in it or, with its mythos. It's going to be including the Keyblade Graveyard in some capacity, so that's pretty exciting. This DLC is also apparently being developed alongside what's coming after Kingdom Hearts 3. So there's a lot on the line for this DLC, and hopefully we'll be getting it much sooner than they're saying. Alright then, so moving on from this DLC stuff into more of insights that Nomura's been bringing to our attention. Nomura was also pretty dang candid about some of the things that happened with Kingdom Hearts 3's development and certain decisions that they decided to make while developing the combat in the game. In some of these interviews, it was also revealed to us that it was a conscious decision to make the enemies weaker in order to give Sora a more free range of mobility. Choosing to give Sora more mobility compared to making the game harder? I got a couple gripes with that. I'm really pumped that Sora is able to do as much as he can, but if you've taken a look at our gameplay review, at times it felt like he could do too much. So I really feel that the move to make the enemies that much weaker in order to give Sora that much more mobility, I think that kind of made the game a little worse off. In past titles, yes, Proud Mode has not been the hardest difficulty, but even with that being said, the games were still significantly more challenging while still having a lot for the player to do with Sora at the helm. It was also stated by Nomura that the Osaka team was chosen by him to take this massive project that's Kingdom Hearts 3 under their belt. The Osaka team has developed very challenging Kingdom Hearts games before. Like, I found Birth by Sleep at times some of the most difficult combat sequences in all of Kingdom Hearts. Especially with the Osaka team at the helm, I really think they could have balanced the difficulty of enemies with the mobility of Sora much better and made a product that wasn't as easy to beat. Now that's just my opinion, but I don't know, I feel like I'm not alone in this. Another hyper interesting thing I found from these articles was Nomura's statements on the boss battle scenarios. If you're interested with reading this article specifically for yourself, here's a link to the original source with special thanks to all of these wonderful people who helped bring this to us. Okay, here's a little snippet of it, and I quote directly. On the other hand, if I made the enemies you can battle only a few people and showed the rest via cutscene, that wouldn't have been very satisfying. Now, I find that quote very interesting, especially compared to the product that we got. I see this quote from Nomura, and I don't see him following his own advice. Once again, spoiler alert here, we're going to be discussing a little bit about the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you've played Kingdom Hearts 3, then you're aware that the last, third of the game was pretty much the story of Kingdom Hearts 3. This also includes having battles that were significant to Kingdom Hearts 3 compared to, the rest of the game. I see these words from Nomura ringing kinda hollow, unfortunately. The end of Kingdom Hearts 3 did bring us some really cool looking boss battles, but aside from that, they were very easy, very short, and they were all shoved into a 20-minute sequence. For example, why was the first time that we fought Marluxia or Larxene at the end of the game whenever they were introduced way earlier in the game and we even ran into them in the worlds? Seriously, if you go back to other Kingdom Hearts titles, we had a lot more time with the organization members, whether it was with battles or with dialogue. There was just a lot more Kingdom Hearts plot involved in the main scenario. Jump forward to Kingdom Hearts 3 and everything was shoved into the last 2 hours of the game, and before that was pretty much 90% filler. Yeah, feel free to blow me up in the comments. I'm not saying that the battles were stupid, I'm just saying that most of them were unnecessary, you know? From what he's saying though that's coming next for Kingdom Hearts 3, this DLC will involve a lot more bosses and some difficult challenges ahead. So for the sake of this game's shelf life in the future and how it's gonna be looked at through the lens of the Kingdom Hearts community, I really hope they get this thing right. Okay, so this brings us to the final topic of today's video. I really wanted to talk about the plot significant bits that Nomura's been bringing to our attention, as well as the future of the Kingdom Hearts series. Here at Kupo, we're going to be doing a story review of Kingdom Hearts 3. That video has been going through so many shifts and transformations because of these recent articles, so look forward to a full, just dive into the Kingdom Hearts 3 plot in future videos. For now, we're gonna lightly graze upon, though, some of the stuff that's been brought to our attention. A lot of the things that Nomura is saying are things that should have been explained during our playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 3. I know I'm not alone in thinking that the Kingdom Hearts 3 story kind of fell flat in a bunch of areas. This pains me to say this, but Nomura coming out and saying all of these huge reveals the way he is, this is really bad storytelling. Like I said, without going too far into this analysis in this video, I'm really bummed that Square wasn't able to fully explain the story of Kingdom Hearts 3 within the contents of the actual game. They put so much emphasis on making this game beautiful and making combos look nice and a bunch of stuff that just doesn't help the actual story of the game progress. If they would have focused in on the actual plot and tied up their loose ends, and then established a bunch of new content to expand the story more, that would have been a much more genuine direction to go in, and it would have left a lot of fans feeling more just complete with this title. Nomura having to explain to the fans, explain to the world what he was trying to do with the story after he's told the story, kinda unfortunately just shows that he didn't execute his idea that great. This really isn't easy to say because I've loved so many of the Kingdom Hearts games 2 now, and I've loved a lot of aspects of 3. To summarize how I'm feeling about all of this news coming to light to the best of my ability, I'm a little disappointed. Square and Nomura had an entire game to tell all of these details that Nomura is telling to us now. Whether that was because of Disney stepping in or Pixar stepping in is beside the point. They had an entire game to tell their story and they weren't able to do it. This game did have a lot of really cool resolution moments, but compared to the amount of, question marks that we had going into the title, we didn't get enough answers to justify them adding in as much as they did without us getting answers. Like I said earlier, we'll be going much more in depth into the story breakdown of this game in our upcoming review. For now though, let's move on, but I really was disappointed to see that Nomura was saying all that he has been in regards to the story because he didn't tell it to us in our actual gameplay experience. Aside from just these Kingdom Hearts 3 parts that Nomura talked about, he also talked about the future of the Kingdom Hearts series. This I found rather exciting and made me hopeful that there will be more resolutions even though we didn't get all the ones we deserved during 3. Nomura is stating that he has a bunch of ideas for the upcoming titles, and there will be a title before Kingdom Hearts 4 that's going to be between 3 and that title. Getting information on this title being developed is super exciting and something we should all be really pumped about. We really got to keep in mind though that Nomura is being tugged in a bunch of different directions with a bunch of different games. This one right here being a big one. So let's not hold our breath for another Kingdom Hearts title, at least till this game drops. I feel like that's to say the very least. Hopefully though, during the production of Final Fantasy VII Remake, as well as whatever is next on Nomura's plate, we'll be getting a substantial amount of updates in regards to the coming Kingdom Hearts game. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot going on right now with the Kingdom Hearts series at large. This brings us to the comment shoutout of the day. What are your hopes for the DLC coming to Kingdom Hearts 3 by the end of 2019? Let us know in the comments below. If you like what you saw here today, feel free to like, subscribe, and flick that notification bell for all the things coming at you from Kupo. Links to our social media will be in the description below, so feel free to check us out on Twitter and Instagram. Well fam, that's about all the time we got for today. So thanks for stopping by our cozy little nook of the internet. I'm Marco, this is the Kupo Key Gamer. It's been so real, and may your heart be your guiding key.
Bakayaro.
Bakanayo, konayaro, konayaro,
Konayaro.
konayaro, bakanayo,
Bakayaro.
bakayano,
Bakayaro.
bakanayo,
Bakayaro.
bakayano, konayaro,
Bakayaro.
bakaya.